Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. Today we're going to be talking about finding a power of a product. So let's get to it. So in order to have a power of a product, we first need the product. So right here we have a multiplication problem, 2 times x. This is our product. And that product is going to be taken to a power. Right here, R3, our exponent. So if we think about it, 2x all to the third is the same thing as 2x times 2x times 2x. Now, since multiplication doesn't matter, that's going to be the same thing as 2 times x times 2 times x times 2 times x if we change the notation, which is going to be equal to 2 times 2 times 2 times x times x times x, because of the commutative property where we can actually move things around with addition and multiplication. Now, if we take 2 times 2 times 2, that's the same thing as 2 to the third by definition of exponents, times, and here we have that base of x, or like bases, and how many times they happen, which is the same thing as 2 to the third x to the third, to get rid of that multiplication symbol between, because we don't want to confuse it with a decimal. And that's going to be also equal to 2 times 2 times 2, which is 8x to the third, and here we go, 8x to the third. Now, we could show our work this way every single time, or we could realize this exists. And what we should notice is we've distributed the 3 to all terms to finding the product. What that means is I'm going to take the power, and I'm going to give it to each base. So 2 to the third, x to the third. And then I'm going to go ahead and solve, because the 2 to the third is going to be kind of a smaller number. That's going to be 8x to the third, and I'm done. So you can show your work this way if you want to, or you can just show your work this way. It's going to be up to you. When you enter in, you're just going to enter in this into the computer. All right. Now remember, pay attention to the words carefully. When I talked about this 3, it's kind of like distributing, and you distribute to each base of the product. What that means is I'm going to take this 2 and I'm going to give it to the 3, so 3 squared. I'm also going to give it to the x squared. I'm also going to give it to the y squared. Now I can go ahead and solve 3 squared, that's 9. X squared's got to stay x squared, and y squared's got to stay y squared. So I have a final answer here. Again, think of how much time that took me to do this just by showing my work here, or how long it would have taken me to write it all out this way. So it's up to you on which one you do. As a matter of fact, I will take a minute or two to go ahead and write out that this 3xy squared is the same thing as 3xy times 3xy. Then that's the same thing as 3 times x times y times 3 times x times y. Rearrange it so all my bases are together. That's the same thing as 3 times 3, x times x, y times y, which is the same thing as 3 squared times x squared times y squared, which is the same thing as 9 times x squared times y squared. Since these are variables, I don't need the dots. So 9x squared, y squared, and I get the same answer. Now pause the video and copy what is on your screen into your notebook. Now that you're back, anytime you have to rewatch the video for clarity or to remember something, you need to write down what you picked up into your notes. Use arrows, circles, shapes, or whatever else you need to, but add it to your notes to make them yours. Last, ladies and gentlemen, remember you're in school and we're here to learn. When you're learning, it's about the process, not just about the answer. We'll see you tomorrow.